Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Washil Tabroni. My ID number is T 2019 6180. And here I'd like to present about my article or my research, which is titled "The Impact of Using Truth Order Game in Improving Student Speaking Ability of Senior High School Students." And this video was submitted for accomplish the digital language literacy assignment. And directly going to the introduction, there are four basic skills that one should master in learning English, and speaking is one of the skills to be mastered by students in order to communicate in English. It is one of the ways to express ideas, thoughts, feelings, to share information, and to build social relationships. It means that speaking is really important for students to improve their ability to communicate orally by presenting their ideas in real life. As Kosar and Badir perspective, they state that speaking is the core of language learning, and there is an assumption that successfulness in language learning is discovered by accomplishing acquisition in speaking. Leong and Ahmadi explain that speaking is the formal skills for the effectiveness of communication. It means that without any speech, communication will not exist. And going to the research method, and this research or this article was conducted as the literature study, and the method of collecting data provide several steps. The first step was collecting data related to the topic of the study from primary and secondary resources. The primary data were taken from several research papers studying the implementation of the other game in language teaching and learning practices in improving student speaking ability, while the secondary data were taken from articles and books which were used to support the topic of the study. And the second step was classifying the data. The data collected from the research papers and articles were related to the impact and implementation of third-order game in language teaching and learning practices, which focus on its impact and implementation. After classifying the data, the next step was analyzing the data, and the last step was drawing conclusions based on the data analysis. Well, going to the finding and discussion. Well, as the title of my research or my article, it's about the impact of using truth order game in improving speaking ability of senior high school students. Well, in finding and discussion, we will discuss about the impact of truth order game and also its implementation in language learning. Well, the first impact of using third order game is third order game makes the class be fun. Of course, the students will be happy when they are learning and playing games, and teaching English speaking skill really needs an active participation of students. Remembering that students can easily be bored in doing some activities, and of course, games can help the teacher make the fun activities. And the second impact is third order game can attract the students' attention. Generally, young learners could not always concentrate and pay attention during the teaching learning process. When the lesson boring, when they will play and chat with their friends, it could disturb the learning process and could make the class to be ineffective. So by using game in teaching learning process, the students were very enthusiastic in joining the activity. And the third impact is third order game can motivate students in joining the class. It could motivate students in joining the class and also give the warm reception to follow the English lesson. Moreover, they were waiting for the chance to join the English lesson. So, and then the fourth impact is third order game can help students in mastering the language. So, third other game provide communicative activity. When students play the game, they interact and communicate with others. It was the meaningful and contextual practice, so the language become more vivid in their minds. And the fifth impact is through order game can create the bond between students and teacher. Using through order game in teaching learning process, it will be able to show ourselves as person, not just a teacher. Playing games can create a positive class environment. It allows the students to relax and enjoy themselves and those around them. Well, after explaining about the impact of using third order game in teaching speaking to high school students, well, now going to the implementation of the third order game on teaching speaking to high school students. Well, the first is about teaching preparation, teachers preparation. In order to have a good preparation, the important thing that the teacher should prepare is the lesson plan, which consists of core competence, basic competence, indicators, objectives, learning materials, learning model, teaching and learning activity, the last media and evaluations. Well, the next is the implementation of the order game. In applying the order game, the teacher divides the teaching process in three stages. They are pre-teaching, while teaching, and post-teaching. In pre-teaching activity, the teacher greets their students, checks students' attendance, and asks them whether they are ready to study or not. The teacher also needs to manage the classroom and preparing the students' mental to receive the lesson, and also giving some questions which are related to the topic. Well, the the second stage is while teaching activity. In while teaching activity, there are several steps: observing, questioning, experimenting, associating, and networking. In the three steps is pre-teaching activity. At the end of lesson, students and teacher conclude about the lesson. The teacher can also give additional information. In addition, teacher gives students homework as they task to remain what they have learned. On the other hand, it will make them become better to the students need a lot of practice. Well, the last is about the conclusion. Well, the conclusion of this research is speaking is one of the foremost language skill that quite difficult for students. The students may have some difficulties related to the lack of participation, inability to express opinion, and no motivation in speaking. Well, based on the curriculum of 2013, the primary purpose of teaching English is achieving communicative competence. As a result, senior high school students as the early stage students should be able to speak and communicate in dialogue using English language. One of the media that can be used in learning English is Truth Order Game. This game can be used as pedagogical tool for teaching activity to stimulate students to achieve in game and to learn unconsciously through game. Well, probably just it what I can deliver to you, and thank you very much, and I'm so sorry for the mistakes. And the last, at least I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.